My name is Oladoso Adenike from Nigeria. I'm the founder of Highly Climate Action Initiative and a Pan-African organization that champions climate-related issues and also have empowered more than 10,000 women through the giving of resources for women that has been displaced or affected by the climate crisis for us to be able to have a gender-based solutions. And at the same time, I'm really excited to be speaking on this panel today to talk about issues that matters to us. Currently, since 2019, COP25 have been on the negotiation table on climate finance and as well the loss and damage. And I'm really excited that finally we have the loss and damage funds, despite it took us several years to establish it. But then this is why it's necessary for us to have the climate finance as a country like Nigeria that is the most vulnerable hit by the climate crisis. In 2021, and since several decades ago, Nigeria have been bearing the impact of the climate crisis. And one of such is the one I've been advocating for, which is Lake Chad, that have shrunk by 90% and is affecting Nigeria, Niger, Chad, and Cameroon. Imagine us losing that lake that has historical, cultural, and different kind of connection that it has with the community. It have led to the loss of millions of people livelihoods, 10.7 million people displaced, and 2.7 million people in dear need of humanitarian assistance. So you could imagine how important it is for us to have climate finance in solving the climate crisis, because I see climate finance as the vaccine that we need in order to solve the climate crisis. And also, you could also see that by the end of this decade, Lagos State, one of the cities in Nigeria, will be covered by sea, and as well, several places or communities would have disappeared in Nigeria, and this will mean mass migration that is ongoing, and it could be terrible because climate change right now is leading to armed conflicts through the clashes between the farmers and the herdsmen, that they were both at peace with each other, and as well, it's also leading to the drying of our natural resources. And in Nigeria, we have the potential for agriculture, but then our agricultural landscape is shrinking. And so this is why it's important for us to have climate finance right now in dealing with those crises, that we don't have to wait until when it gets to the point of loss and damage before we could act. Before it gets to that point, we need to create more finance, especially for adaptation, for people to be able to adapt innovatively, creatively, with different initiatives such as the indigenous knowledge in solving the climate crisis. And these are what I've been advocating for since. And looking at the fact that we now have finance for loss and damage, we need more contribution, because in Africa we have many countries, and one of it, which is Nigeria, even though Africa um, just produced less than 3% of global emissions, but yet hit by the climate crisis. And so we need finance in dealing with the issue of climate change, from agriculture to energy to water and different aspects of our sector, because climate change is not only affecting the environment, it's also affecting every other sector that we could see in our economy. And so we are urging countries from the global north to contribute massively in climate finance in helping to solving this defining issue of our time. Because if Africa is not safe, definitely Europe is not safe. And that is why we need to act on those issues that matters to us, that we don't have to wait until when it hits us before we act on it. And so we need more financial contribution in dealing with this crisis. Thank you.